The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keezy. Back Monday at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Now listen, fellas, you two were getting on it all weekend.
All weekend.
And I literally mean all weekend. Hoyte J was getting out in the world and doing really positive stuff.
Oh.
Did 4 workouts over the weekend. Did the lawns.
Did you finally do the lawns, man?
Yeah, did the lawns.
Good work, man.
Put a deck on
A what?
A deck outside our bedroom. Put some French doors in.
Ooh la la.
What else did I do? Learned 9 drama scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Over the, got a filming coming up.
One line sort of thing.
But I did manage to find some time for fishing, fellas. Because I'm getting
fishing for fellas.
No, fishing fellas.
Oh, going fishing.
Yeah. Because it's it's a passion of mine. As you know, I'm a pretty handy angler.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, I've caught some big fish. Some big fish.
What was the biggest fish you ever caught?
Oh, I think.
Didn't you catch a dolphin once?
Yeah, I've caught a couple of dolphins.
That whale washed up as well. But is that a fish?
Yeah, no, that was more. I whacked it with a bit of driftwood.
Yeah.
What's the biggest? A couple of kingies, probably 150 pounders.
Wow.
Yeah. So a few Keezy.
So how'd you go on the weekend?
A few rays, quite a few swordfish.
A few tyres.
Some tyres, some marlins. Caught some big marlins.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the biggest fish I caught was a tuna.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That can get really big.
Yeah.
You ever catch snapper?
Oh, occasionally. Occasionally I catch some snapper. But anyway, true story. Here I am in my own little beach. A beach I go to, and the reason I go to it is because no one goes to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like to be alone.
Yeah.
I like to be just, hanging out by myself and
I've noticed that,
having a bit of Hoyte J time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So there's Hoyte J with his rod out.
Alone. Yeah.
With your rod
All of
out
a
fishing
sudden,
for fellas.
I'm going to say this, woman of about your age, Mogi.
Oh, yeah.
So mid to late 40s.
Yeah.
A little bit older than me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Comes along and I'm sitting there on my little chair with my little flask of coffee.
Are all these things actually little, or are they regular size?
Oh, it's probably a regular size
Yeah,
flask.
right, okay.
And she takes her kid off.
Oh, yeah.
She gets completely nude.
Nutty bubby.
Right.
And if you can imagine me sitting in my chair looking out to the ocean to my left,
Oh, yes.
probably about 20 metres away. The beach was huge.
Did you have your glasses?
I had my glasses.
Sweet.
The beach was huge, and she chose to get naked 20 metres from Hoyte J, and she walked into the surf there.
Yeah. It's surf. Got surf.
Well, it's pretty calm, actually.
Yeah.
It's not really waves.
So is it a nude beach or just a regular beach?
It's just a regular beach.
Right, okay.
Well, and I'm not a perv. I'm not.
How do
doing
you mean?
Well, I mean, if I'm
You're
in
a
that, if I'm in that scenario, I don't do a keezy on it.
You're a
and,
perv. That's how we met. You're a massive perv.
Am I?
Carry on, though.
Anyway, so I just, she was doing bombs and sort of ducking up and down like a dolphin. And, sort of standing waist deep there for ages.
Hello.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And an old Hoyte J looking straight ahead.
Yeah, nice.
Straight
to the front, Hoyte.
Straight at her.
Yes, straight. Yeah, well, she was
because Jason employs this thing that he taught me when I was a younger fella. He calls it tricky eye.
Right.
He calls it tricky eye. And the thing is, you have your sunnies on there, and you might be looking one way, but your tricky eyes, they're at a 45-degree angle.
With your dirty dogs on.
And they're drinking it in.
Yeah, nice. So what happened?
That's one of his number one tip for how to be a perv.
What happened?
So I'm looking straight ahead with my tricky eye.
Yeah, nice.
And then I'm bringing my line in. Unbelievable. I hook her.
Wait, you hooked up with her?
Yeah, no, I hook her.
Right.
I get my hook in her.
What, you punch her in the
not
head?
my hook. I mean, well, it is my hook from my rod.
Right.
And she's like, and so Hoyte J, who was trying desperately to be non-pervy, ended up, spending about 3/4 of an hour trying to get a hook out of her buttock.
Oh, shit.
Far out.
You know what I mean?
Do you catch any fish?
No.
Did you throw it back?
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Tit chat. With Jason Mike. Yeah.
I'll get rid of the dolphin for next week. Well, I'll ask Pugs to do it.
What dolphin?
What?
There isn't a dolphin in there, Keezy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, lots of good texts coming in on 3483.
Can you get rid of the turtles making love too?
Hell no, that's my favourite.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just feel it's a bit...
What?
Juvenile.
Yeah, but... Ooh, turtles having sex.
Wow.
There must be other things having sex that we can put in there.
Yeah, that would be like a donkey.
Oh, yeah.
Could you get us some
2
donkeys having sex, Keezy?
You must have that on a short list of some description.
Yeah, it's going to be a matter of whittling it down to one. Hey, here's a great text on 3483. G'day, guys. My goldfish, Yuan, has developed a real attitude problem.
It's just one.
How do you spell it?
Juan.
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 Hi, guys. My goldfish, Juan.
It's like Honganui.
Right. Hey, guys. My goldfish, Juan, has developed a real attitude problem. I'll just be minding my own business, and then he's giving me the side eye. And the other day, he flipped me off. What can I do? Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do tend to have a bit of attitude. And
it sounds like he's... sounds like... Is it Juan? Is that the goldfish or the guy?
Yeah.
Juan, the goldfish.
No, Juan.
Oh, what's the guy who owns it? What's he called?
Daryl.
Daryl. Sounds like Daryl might be smashing the glass Barbie. The old see-through didgeridoo. He's got the paranoia going. He's got paranoid.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds like to me.
So you don't think...
You were saying off here, Mogi, that the old goldfish with the old boggly eye there... you got a real affection for them.
Yeah, I do,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with having massive bulges. Sounds like he just needs to mind his business.
Well, there you go. Mind your business, Daryl.
Yeah.
G'day, lads.
I'd flip you the fin as well if that was your attitude.
G'day, lads. My wife has recently...
My wife!
Come on, Jace. My wife has recently let a stray cat into our house. I absolutely
straight cat.
A stray cat.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, no mention on sexuality or anything. Huh?
Not a they cat.
No. It just sounds like a stray cat.
Do you know I heard the other... Oh, no, carry on.
You sure?
Yeah.
Sound like a good yarn.
It's another thing that I can't get my head around.
Right, okay. G'day, lads. My wife has recently let a stray cat into our house, but I absolutely despise it. It climbs up all the curtains and is very annoying. What is the most discreet way to get rid of it? Cheers. And that's from Barnabas.
Just have her, when she's at work, just have the divorce papers served to her at work.
Right. I think he's like, I would have thought, take it to a SPCA or something, or,
is he talking about the cat or his wife?
Oh, maybe he is talking about his wife.
Yeah, I'd say so. You wouldn't want to get rid of the cat.
No.
Right, but it's just a stray cat.
And you said it was a kitten as well.
No, just a cat.
Oh, it was a stray cat.
Cat.
I agree with Mogi. Divorce papers.
Right, okay. Last one here. G'day, fellas.
If you haven't got any empathy, Keezy, then out you go.
Yeah.
Right,
the door.
Hit the bricks.
Fair enough.
Hit the pile of bricks.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to do that. G'day, fellas. Recently gave my dog a haircut. Thought it would be funny to give it a mohawk. Now, however, it thinks it's a badass and has developed an attitude problem.
Right.
Have you ever experienced this? Cheers.
I used to have a mohawk.
So did I, actually.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
I had a bad attitude too, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you can't help it.
That's the whole point of having a mohawk, isn't it?
Bad boy.
Yeah,
bad boy.
It's a bad boy douche kind of attitude.
Right, so what do you just stay out of its way, or?
Oh, what? The dog?
The dog with the mohawk.
I tell you what I can't stand is those stupid poodles that have all the little buffy, the little keezy hairdos on their legs.
Don't point at me. So you hate buffy poodles?
Yeah, I hate buff. And so does my dog, actually.
Right.
My dog is racist.
My dog?
Sees a poodle, goes off her head, Mogi.
I'm not surprised.
So what's your advice for the mohawk dog?
Oh, I haven't really got any.
No, neither.
I'll just see how it plays out.
And once again, it's an attitude thing, isn't it? It is. They go through these periods, Keezy.
Right,
you just got to ride with them, and they'll come out the other end.
It's probably listening to Limp Bizkit as well, but they grow out of that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, there you go. Another little dose of pet chat for you.
So good.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast. Catch them weekdays from 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Tom Petty there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show. The time 4:29, fellas. Jeez, the show's flying by.
That tune actually reminds me of old Because you're pretty into your pranks, eh, man? You've played some pranks massively. In your day, man.
Yeah.
And certainly I think when you're growing up, and there's a lot less to do back in our day, Keezer. You won't know this, man, because you got all your video games and your midnight steamers and that. You got plenty to keep you busy. But
too much.
In our day, there wasn't so much on. So oftentimes what you do is, and the parenting's different as well.
Oh, very much so.
Mum would just say, see you later, and
go
you come
and
back.
Entertain yourselves, you lazy bastards. Not my job.
Go back in a month, and then, and they weren't even bothered. They haven't even looked up from the TV at that point.
Exactly.
So we used to go around and we used to terrorise the neighbours a little bit, and there was a real backbone son of a bee that lived down at number 27, Stampy McLeod, and he was a good bastard, but he had a bit of a I guess a temper.
Sure.
Which is
short
like
fuse.
Short fuse, thank you. Bit of a red rag to these to kids, back in those days. You just see what kind of reaction you're going to do. So, I should say. So what we would do back then was we'd grab a sort of a large paper bag. Lots of paper bags back then. Wasn't so much plastic, Keezy.
Oh, wow.
You won't know that.
Yeah.
And then you grab a massive steamer, and preferably half a dozen or so. Another thing that would
like
have
a dog.
Preferably dog,
right.
But, because back then...
You could do your own, though. I mean,
well, you could, but the thing is, you were spoilt for choice with the steamers on the lawns because nobody picked them up back then.
Oh, yeah.
There was more steamers on a lawn than there were blades of grass.
That's actually
true.
There
were steamers to burn.
I haven't seen a steamer
on
a lawn.
So that's what we
did
was we'd fill up this bag full of steamers there. And then you take it up and put it on Stampy's front doorstep there.
Oh, yeah.
Squirt the old lighter fluid on it.
Yeah.
Set fire to the bag.
Do-doos.
Knock on the door and just take off. And we go over the road there to number 28 and just peek through the bushes and see how he sort of reacted to it.
Oh, classic. That is a classic.
It is very much so.
I've wanted to do that. And so, because the idea is, right, obviously Stampy he'd come out and then be like, oh, crap, and then... instinctively would literally stomp the fire out and get poos all over his feet. Is that what he would do?
But he'd get them all over his hands.
Oh, he'd pound it out. Why wouldn't he use his feet?
Well, because he'd been in Vietnam, you see.
Right.
And so he was in a chair, but so he couldn't. You'd want to get Stampy. So you don't want to get your chair involved in it. So he'd have to pat it out with his hands. In the end, and that's why he gets so furious.
Wait, so he was
bloody kids
all over the dial.
Yeah.
Well, hang on,
horrendous.
He was a war veteran.
Horrendous.
He was a war veteran.
Well, he'd been in Vietnam.
Yeah,
just on holidays though.
Oh.
Yeah, well, he wasn't part of the war.
Yeah, it's beautiful over there. Yeah.
How did he lose his legs?
He never mentioned it. I don't know. We never thought to ask.
So he went on holiday in Vietnam.
Yeah,
with legs.
See, this is the thing, Keezer. Your generation. That's just a bloody rude question to ask, man.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
actually, I'm offended on behalf of Stampy that you would even ask such a personal question. We didn't think to ask, man, and he didn't think to tell us. You know what I mean?
Well, why'd you bring
he
up?
Goes away on holiday. He come back with a slideshow and a wheelchair, man.
Yeah,
and he didn't have any legs. Well, that's his business. What he does over there,
right?
You know what I mean?
If he wants to tell you about it, he'll tell you about it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, he's a backbone. He keeps things to himself, man.
No, hang on, you can't.
That is.
Oh my god!
You can't stand up for him after lighting dog poos.
Oh, now you're going to make a standing up joke, Keezy? A standing up joke for old Stampy?
Do you know what else has changed between generations?
Yep.
Manners, mate.
Exactly.
Common decency.
You mind your goddamn business. Keezy.
The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Metallica, The Unforgiven. Of course, 1991, their album came out, the Black Album, as it's called, and that album will feature heavily, no doubt, in the 90s till now countdown, which is starting on Hauraki very soon. If you'd like to vote for your favourite song from the 90s until now, basically the past 30-odd years, text song to 3483, and just by voting, you could win yourself an instant record collection of 90 vinyl. Now, Mogi, Jace isn't here right now because he's filming. He will be back tomorrow, of course. We'll be doing the show from Hamilton because we're going to the darts.
Yeah.
Now, that's awesome. We're at a table. We've got a couple of listeners with us. Me, you, Jace, Pugs, free beers, dressing up. Big old party.
Yeah.
Hotel room.
Yeah.
You've now put a message to the group chat.
Yep.
Saying, hey, fellas, can we leave the next morning at 7 a.m.?
Yeah.
What's that about? Because what you've done there is turn what was going to be a massive night for me, especially, into something I'm probably now going to have to dial back a wee bit.
Yeah, well, I've got to get back for... I've got a big family day planned. Big family day.
Right.
So I've got to get back for Disney on Ice.
Disney
on Ice. Yeah, it's a show. I don't know where it is. It's been organised by my wife.
My wife?
And so we're going along for that. The thing about it is these things are aimed at children, so they start really early.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was surprised it actually starts at 9 a.m.
Right. Well, that sounds terrible.
That's really early. So I have to get back from Hamilton to be able to go to Disney on Ice.
Right. And you couldn't not go to that, and we could sleep in till 9?
Well, I think it's, look, am I interested in seeing Disney on Ice?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
Am I interested in seeing the look on my daughter's face when she sees Disney on Ice?
Yes.
Yeah. So I have to go to that.
Right.
And then, I've got a little bit of stuff to do around the house, etc., etc., etc.
Right. It's just that what you've done is taken like quite a cool, full, expenses paid party night, the big show, the fellas ripping and tearing in Hamilton.
Yeah.
And
I know. And look, I feel bad about it as well because I'm going to have my cool hat on.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think I'm not going to have a ripper of a night wandering around Hamilton with my cool hat on?
No, I know. It's going to be epic.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to dial it back.
You can leave your hat on.
Tune, by the way. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be epic. Hoyte J's going to be there as Jace the Nuss, walking around with his backwards hat and his speed dealers on. So this is the thing. Pugs will be there wearing his usual stuff.
I think the only way to do it really is if we don't land the plane. But drink responsibly at the same time.
Yeah, but we're not talking about drinking, we're talking about staying out.
Staying up, yeah. So I think that's the way to go. We just don't land the plane and then just straight in the car. Somebody's going to need to have had a good night's sleep, but that's about roughly an hour and a half drive. So I would expect to have 7 stops.
On the way back.
For stretching, coffee, have a little something to eat.
Wheeze?
Wheeze, you can have wheeze if you want.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So...
who's going to drive us? Who's going to stay sober then?
Well, I think the only one that can do it is Pugs because he's the only one that's registered to drive.
Oh, yeah, so who cares then? Yeah, I don't even care. I was worried that I was going to have to drive.
No, we wouldn't trust you. But the trouble is, man, normally, it would be okay. Yeah. But it's quite a big truck, the Hauraki truck, so I don't know if we'd trust you behind the wheel.
Well, hang on,
because you're more of a small wagon sort of a guy.
Mike, I've got a big truck
back there. I've got a big truck.
Mike, I've got a big truck.
I've got a big truck.
It's a really big truck.
I'm a big boy.
You've seen photos of my truck. It's massive.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyte, Mike Minogue, and Keezy. Back Monday at 4 on Radio Hauraki.